What's going on? Welcome to Thumb Tacos. My name is Jared. Today I got 10 tips for you before you go live streaming on Facebook gaming. Look, a lot of people make very basic mistakes that can be easily avoidable. Today's tips are going to get you set up, ready to rock and roll, and coming in like a pro. Maybe even better than the pros. Roll the intro. As always, I want to thank you guys for stopping by. If you could consider hitting that like button, subscribe to the channel. It makes a huge difference. It's free, and then you get to keep up with my weekly content. I'm making us all better streamers. These tip videos come from my own experiences as a streamer. All right, let's get into this. 10 tips before you go live. Tip number 1, make sure your audio is set and balanced before you go live. Audio is the most important part of your stream, so it's really important to take the time to make sure your settings are appropriate. You want your voice to be above the gameplay. You want your gameplay to be heard, but not overbearing. If you have guest voices on, whether it's game chat or another guest on the stream directly, make sure those levels are appropriate too. A simple way to check your audio levels before you go live is hit the record button, do a check, stop recording, check the recording, it'll give you your reference, and then you can make little tweaks, and then you can go from there. All right, tip number 2. Make sure your webcam on your overlay is not blocking any important gameplay information. Your viewers want to see as much as they can out of the game, as much as they want to see you. So find the nice spot that doesn't block anything. So don't cover up life bars or maps or ammo counts or whatever game you're doing. Make sure that you're paying attention to that. And this is appropriate for the next tip. Tip number 3, avoid the top left corner in streaming on Facebook gaming. The top left corner is where the live icon shows up. And when that live icon is there, it goes above whatever you put there. So if you're putting any kind of social link up there or any kind of sub goal or any kind of information in that top left corner, it will get covered up by the live icon. So avoid the top left corner. Tip number 4, if you have any kind of chargeable device, make sure it is well charged before you go live. So your phone, or if you have controllers or whatever you have set up, make sure your batteries are ready to rock and roll. Nothing kills the stream than devices failing or silly little glitches that could have been avoidable. I've actually had this happen a few times. It's a little distracting. Tip number 5, try not to look like shit. Look your best. Tip number 6, this one kind of goes with tip number 5, but make sure you're well rested and you're mentally settled in for live streaming. Burnout is a real thing. It's a real concern, and it affects a lot of streamers. I've been in and out of it before, and it's not a fun place to be. And when you're not getting enough rest and not getting just a healthier lifestyle in general, it's going to affect your stream. Sleep is so important, and it's my biggest downfall is I don't do enough prepping in this department. I know when I'm well rested, I have better streams, so I'm just passing it on to you. It doesn't matter if you're going to lose a day of streaming. If you can catch up on rest, it's probably worth it in my book. Let me know what you think in the comments below. All right, tip number 7, also extremely important. Descriptions and titles have to be engaging. This is your hook. When you send something out like this, the title and your description have to go hand in hand, and they have to grab the attention of the viewers that you want for your stream. So put a lot of time and effort into titles and descriptions, and you'll have a better result on getting new people to your stream. Think what would grab your attention, or sift through a bunch of streamers and find what titles catch your attention, and then start adjusting yours to look more like theirs. And I promise you will see an increase in new people coming in. You might even get inspired more chat by using a description that maybe is like a movie quote if it works with the game that you're playing or something like that. The more creative you are in this area, the better your stream is going to be. Tip number 8, this is one of the biggest killers for beginning streamers that I've seen, is having long intros. You don't need them on Facebook gaming. Facebook gaming is such a fast-paced streaming platform. You have to come in live swinging. You have to be going into the gameplay quick. You cannot sit and hang out and have lulls when you're first starting out. You have to get to a point of having an audience. Then you can take the time to do that kind of stuff, because the algorithm will still push you out there. But the algorithm is looking for new streamers that catch attention right away. So if you are a new streamer on Facebook gaming, you got to go in swinging. It doesn't matter if you don't have a lot of viewers at first. As long as they send you a couple viewers and they react to your stream, they know that you're doing something positive. If they send viewers to your stream through the algorithm and they come to a starting soon screen for a streamer they don't know, they will not stick around, no matter how flashy and fun it may look like. I'm telling you right now, beginning streamers, just avoid intros for a while. When is the time to use this an intro? I have no idea. I sometimes use them and I sometimes don't. And honestly, when I don't use them, I never see a negative outcome. And honestly, when I use them still, I still see negative numbers from that, because you can actually see where your retention drops. So in my eyes, even where I'm at, I'm not huge, but I don't really need an intro. I don't think most streamers do. I think it's just a thing that bigger streamers do, and we all feel like we got to do it because they do it. So I think I'm mostly over intros. Wow, it's like an inner thought while I'm making a YouTube video. This is weird. I'm over it, guys. Moving on. Speaking of moving on, let's get to the next tip. Tag the proper game. A lot of people forget to tag the game. This is how the algorithm works. If you tag Mario, it brings people in that likes Mario to you. So if you're playing Call of Duty, tag Call of Duty, it brings people in that like Call of Duty. That's like your bait. If you're thinking about fishing, I'm a fisherman. I use fishing references all the time. Anyway, if you're thinking about fishing, you have your hook, which is your title and description. Your description is going to be how sharp your barb is. And then the tag on that is like your bait. That's what's going to get the people in. That's what's going to give you the bites. So make sure you're not overlooking this step. Always tag the game. And honestly, if you come out of your dashboard and hop back in, your tag doesn't stay. So it's really important to keep an eye that you have the game tagged. I have tip number 10, but just to let you know, I do have a bonus tip after this one. Tip number 10 is avoid doing a bunch of shares to groups and pointless ends on streaming. I look at my analytics, and when I get a lot of shares, they come up to like 1% of your exposure when you're streaming. It's a very, very small amount, but for some reason, a lot of beginning streamers like to take a lot of time in the beginning of their stream to share to as many groups as they can. Facebook kind of looks at this like spamming. You could do a couple and it's going to go under the radar and it won't be a big deal. I would not recommend doing a bunch of shares in the beginning. You can go live and share to like 1 or 2 places all within 30 seconds. And that'll probably do you more good than taking 2 minutes to share out to a ton of places for no growth, because that's just killing the momentum of the algorithm. Just like what I said about intros, this is another algorithm killer in the beginning of your streams. So I got one more bonus tip, and it's something I made a video about this a long time ago, but take these tips and compile them into a list for yourselves, have a little bit of fun with it, and create your own streamer's checklist before you go live. I miss steps on this all the time, and things bite me in the ass as soon as I go live. So this video is like a reminder to myself, almost, just to like, hey, there's things you got to go through every time you stream to make sure you don't have those blunders when you go live. Everybody has those mistakes. It's streaming. Anything can happen. Your computer could die out. You who knows? Whatever it'll be. But as long as there's things that you're in control of, you might as well take a little bit of time to take care of your stream and really put it in your own hands. Guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you guys are doing well out there in streaming. If you guys, like I said, if you ever want to talk to me live, my link is in the description below. Otherwise, if you have questions on the tips from today, or if there's future content you want me to work with, get them in the comments below. I go through every single comment you guys send. You guys take care. Until next time.